Alrighty, good morning. Thank you, Means Guys Fitness. Just finished doing a lot of work on my knife handle. Got quite a bit done. Further along than I thought I would be. So I figured before the rains came this time, I'd go for a walk. They did kind of cut my walk short yesterday. I haven't uploaded that one yet, but maybe I'll load that one up before I load this one. So I've been doing a nightly video on my MacBean farms, prepping, wildlife, and probably should add and current events. So you might want to go check that one out. I use that channel for more of the serious conversations, and this one I use mostly for fitness, walking, making knives, gardening, doing fun stuff. So I was live streaming for over 2 hours. So I got a lot done. I'm going to give it a little break for a while. I've got another piece of equipment coming that will make the job much easier and allow me to do a more accurate job on it. So right now I was using mostly the sanders and the wood chisel. And when I finally came down to it, I should have just used the wood chisel and the sander. I didn't need that drumming tool. It was cool. I guess it did let me get into some of the rough cuts, but wood chisel was far better at doing it. So I got the handle down where I can actually get my hand around it and, weld it if I had to. But of course it's still too large. So I've got to bring it in closer, and then I think I picked the perfect stain. I picked a dark stain. Only because where the two pieces of wood come together, there is a gap. Which really there was no way of preventing that. But with the dark stain, that gap will probably not show. I was thinking also about maybe inlaying some brass, but I'm going to forego that. Anytime you start putting decorations on something, you're asking for it to break. So this week has been mostly my week for crafts, and I'm going to keep it that way. Next week I'll be back to lifting. I'll get that new piece of equipment in, and then I gotta figure out where I'm going to mount it. I really need to start moving this into the shed, but I got some work I gotta do in the shed still, and that might be one of my weekend endeavors. So here I got the neighbor coming up here. They may want to say hi. So I'll put it on pause just in case they stop. Yeah, they waved, but they didn't stop, which is okay. I wasn't in a conversation mood with them anyway. But looks like I'll be able to get a longer walk in today. Remember, when you are walking that, stay safe and stay strapped. Even out here, you never know when somebody's going to lose it. But don't fall for the fake rhetoric. All right. There's going to be a lot of it out there. That guy had red flags flying, true red flags flying over the place. 2 weeks in a mental institution this summer. Threatened a military base. Was written up on a military base because of that. Restraining order against him from an ex-wife. I mean, this is the person that you think, maybe we should get him some help. I still haven't caught him. It's a shame. There's no excuse to do what he did. And it's not the gun, people. It's the individual. Stop blaming an inanimate object. It's so stupid to fall for that. And they're calling for it. Gun control will make you safer. No, it will not. It will make you less safe. And it'll make it easier for them to take your freedoms. Wake up. Had a guy say, well, even if there was some people carrying pistols, they wouldn't stand a chance against them because they got an AR. I'm thinking, what an incredibly stupid thing to say. Not naive, just stupid. And he probably heard that from somebody, and he took it as Bible. I said, you get 2 or 3 concealed carries, they definitely have a chance. You know, but he walked into gun-free zones. They weren't supposed to be carrying. And he goes, well, we'll start at 100 feet. Use my AR and use any pistol ever made. Dumb statement number 2. So I put a little video up there on both channels on shooting out a acorn squash at 100 feet. After watching it, you tell me, do I have a chance? Incredibly dumb statement. But the problem is, the media never broadcast when a good guy or a good person uses a gun to stop a bad guy. And it happens because every time I tell somebody what happened in Indiana in the mall, guy came in the bathroom, had a rifle and was going to shoot up the place, and the guy with a pistol at 140 feet away took him out. You know, but because that didn't fit the narrative of the anti-gun media, you didn't hear about it. And everybody I talked about it said the same thing. Well, I didn't hear about that. Well, of course you didn't. It doesn't fit their narrative. You know, don't fit their narrative. They're not going to put it out there. That's why you need to research this stuff. Stop listening to the media. You know, as they say, if I blindfold you and just started feeding you stuff and you didn't know what it was, would you eat it? And if you say, yep, no, then why are you letting the media do the same thing? A beta male was here. Yep. The tracks and signs of a true beta male throwing his Bud Light can out the window. So most of the fields are down, and the ones that they can get to now, they have to wait for it to dry up. So we've been getting a lot of rain. And you can't, no matter how big those tractor tires are, you can't go in there and harvest it. Just way too much mud. You can even tell they were getting a little, looks like they probably were harvesting when it was raining, and you can look at the deep tracks they left. They're probably lucky they got out. So folks, do some research. You know, when they say X amount of people have been killed by firearms, almost 60% of it is suicide. It's unfortunate. So you gotta cut that number down more than half. And then probably another 70-80% of that number is gang related. Guess what the gangs don't follow? Well, that's right, laws. And when they make more laws, guess what they don't follow? They don't follow those laws either. So remember, laws only make you a victim. Or beta. Beta. Probably the same individual. Oh, look. Can't go home and let my wife know I drink Bud Light. I better throw them out the window first. Don't get educated. Stop believing what the White House is saying. I'm just astounded of the outright lies that they come out with every day. Economics is working. No, it's not working. I pay twice as much for fuel. I pay twice as much for gas. You're paying twice the interest for your loans. Twice as much for energy. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And people going, oh, I created 14 million jobs. No, created 3 million. 11 of those, or 12 of those, were jobs lost during the pandemic. And just the ridiculous stuff Congress does. It's embarrassing. How do we like these people? Yeah, that one pulling the fire alarm because he's trying to disrupt the vote. And trust me, he's not the first person that's done silly stuff like that. These people are immature. Stop voting for him. Caught him removing the warning signs. Yeah, those cameras will kind of tell the truth once they come out, huh? You know, I'm sitting there kneeling for this cause and kneeling for that cause, but well, now that we got a war going in the Middle East, they really don't know what to do. You college kids who haven't got a clue of the world stage, go to class. Stop getting in those protests. Just go to class and get your education. I guarantee if you were my kid and I was paying for your college and you were doing one of those protests, I'd pull you out of college. It would end right then. Kids are clueless about how the world really works. Luckily for me, I went into service first. So I got to see how it was overseas. So when I went to college, I understood how the world worked. They didn't. And this is even back in the 80s. Those college kids were idiots. Stop American terrorism. Get out of my face. You gotta be kidding me. That's another thing these walks are good for. Get all this negative energy out. Get it out of the system. You know, not getting any sunshine, but I am getting good cardio. And I am just getting rid of the stress. But you college kids, you need to do some independent studies and realize that most of your professors never left the school system. So they don't know how the real world is. They lived in a enclosed club liberal. So you need to get some other experiences. The life science teachers tend to be a little bit more on the level, but your psych and your, I don't know, I just call them, why'd you take that class? No clue. No clue. I had one teacher on history do that about the Vietnam War, and I challenged him. I said, were you there? He goes, no, okay. I said, did you ever talk to the veterans? He goes, no, okay. I served with them. They trained me. You know, put out the facts. Let the students make up their own mind. I don't appreciate what you're saying about veterans I served with. He apologized. Probably, maybe briefly, steered them away from that path. You know, I had experience and heard the stories direct and what they had to go through. You know, was it a mistake? Should we not have been there? Well, that's your politicians. And they're about ready to get you in another one. Everybody's worried about the draft. Guess who's not worried about the draft? I already did my time. I served. And they're not going to draft somebody my age. And if they did, shit has really hit the fan. But don't worry, folks. They won't do a draft until the next election's over. They understand that would erase any chance for them getting elected, no matter the level they cheated. Oh, they didn't cheat. Yeah, they did. more people voted than we had registered to vote. So stop it. It was just close enough for them to get away with it. If you tell me 80 people are that damn dumb to vote for, where am I, Biden? This nation is messed up anyway. And we got the next level of beta, the White Claw. Of course, this one I understand. He doesn't want to get home. His wife's going, "You're drinking pineapple? I thought you were a man." It's just my take on it. If you like it, go for it. Just keep it in the car. Don't throw it out the window. But so far, only 3 cans. That's not bad. It's been a weekend since I've been out here. So maybe my word's getting out. Anyway, so far, a pretty good day. Got my walk in. 2.5 hours working on that knife handle. Just amazes me. I watch Forged in Fire, and they can, in a period of 5 hours, make a blade. Oh yeah, they got power tools, and yeah, they do. Still 5 hours. Hell, I'm just refurbishing a blade that's already been forged, and I've got over 5 hours in it already. I probably got about another 4 or 5 hours before I'm done of just pure work time. Now, granted, I've been using some primitive tools, and it's my first time redoing something, and a lot of it is kind of, let's make it up as we go. Next week I get a 1" by 30 belt sander, which is it's going to allow me to go in there and really work it. And then I think that'll allow me to pretty much get the handle finished up. I still want to do some more polishing on the knife blade itself. So that will also have to be done with that. And then I need to get that shed set up. And I gotta get the decking closed. That'll probably be my project tomorrow, because I have the wife to somewhat help me with that project. Just basically another pair of hands, which I'll need. And that'll allow me to keep the deck a good 10 to 15 degrees warmer than it is outside. So I'll bring the grill back up, and might think of some other things I can probably lay down and make it a little bit warmer too. But it helps, it blocks the wind. It does keep the cold, frigid wind and snow away from the door, so that helps. I take 6 of the panels down in the spring, and I put them back up in the fall. So I got that going, and I think once that project's done, I got an indoor project I got to do. But I think also either on Saturday or Sunday I'm going to walk out to that wood pile, depending on the weather and how muddy it is. There might be some usable lumber I can grab from there that I can use in the shed. And that'll help things out. But I was all happy. It's like, okay, I was on vacation. I'm going to have a short week. It's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hey, it's Friday. And I'll have the weekend to relax, and I get on there Wednesday and they still didn't have the big furnace running. They asked me, can you work the weekend? Sure. It's good money. Don't want to get away from that money, and it's not hard work. Yeah, it's steady work. Some people think it's hard. I consider it an 8-hour workout. I get to move heavy tooling. So, no rest for the weary. But it's at the point where, I got the overtime, I'll take advantage of it. And I'll still be able to get stuff done in the morning. So remember, everybody, rest, nutrition, proper exercise, go for walks, have fun. Be aware, do your own research. Don't listen to the White House briefings. I've never heard such incredible lies, ever. It's just ridiculous. Remember, banning a tool does not ban the evil of people. And they're trying to ban a tool that's only responsible for like 2 to 5% of the shootings. And their answer? Restrict your ability to defend yourself. And if anything shows you a perfect lesson on why you need that AR, I think what happened in Israel earlier this month, it should be a blatant example. And if you didn't pick up on that, well, I can't help you. You're going to be a sheep, and you're going to go to slaughter willingly. If you didn't figure out that's a bad idea by now, there's no helping you. But for everybody else that understands, get the vote out. All right? Be prepared. Thanks for joining.